Morning, Jordan.
Morning.
Are you at a different place, office today?
Yeah. Are you guys working from home?
Yeah. It's been a long time since I went off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was wondering how they do it there.
Mulya.
Good morning. Last day, huh? We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have a final session tomorrow. This would be last step of the flywheel today. Give 1 more minute and we'll start.
Pretty light turnout today.
Say that again, Jordan.
It was pretty light. Only a couple of us.
Yeah, I think there's. To be honest, I wouldn't get up so early if it was not for the course. But
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of sacrifices to accommodate this.
Actually, we needed supporting. The supporting team had to do a lot of sacrifices. Getting up is like least of them.
Glad you could make it.
Yeah. I was actually thinking maybe I should wait and maybe take it like maybe next 6 months or maybe sometime later. But you never know if if you'll have the support. So I thought, okay, let's do it now. So
Yeah, and I don't know how long I'll run this in this format because it's quite time intensive.
yeah, I'm sure. But the content is all streamlined, so you just have to lecture. I think you can even train folks to speak as well.
So I'm kind of like obsessed about the content in the sense like every boot camp there is like some addition. There is like 20% change in the content because I see the feedback, I iterate. So yeah, I have an OCD in that sense. Maybe I'm overdoing it, but yeah, but maybe in like if I do it 4 or 5 more times, then I'll probably have that confidence.
Yeah, like you say, right? Like the return on investment after 95% is very little. So it's already pretty like it's pretty condensed and people get their time's worth. So yeah, don't discontinue it is what I'm saying.
Got it.
You can try the inverted way of actually like doing this cohort. Like in the lockdown, some professors started this. They send out the videos and then the next day is only discussions. But may not be like very suitable for us because we do all like mostly it's discussions.
Yeah.
We don't have proofs to do.
That's true. Yeah, I really contemplated on that aspect as well. Like, but the energy in that discussion and spontaneous question, people don't take out the energy after the watching the recording to have that discussion, right? So, but that's something definitely I'll at least try once to see how it goes. Hi, Satish.
Hey.
Yeah, I think we have a quorum now. We can get started. Start with small wins. Who worked on the idea from yesterday on their own idea that they can influence their team, their manager?
Yeah, I ran it by somebody like more senior than me, but not like all the way up, just to get some other feedback on it before doing that.
Good. Yeah, it's getting started is the biggest thing, right? So once you have your idea in motion, it's easier. Newton's law, right? Objects in motion tend to be in motion, right? So getting started is the biggest hurdle. Any other small wins?
I mean, just continuing to what we left, right? I think Vijay has agreed to, I mean, he will go ahead and forward the invite to everyone. So as and when people have time, they can join the system design study group. Okay.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I'm going to have a email sent out to anybody else who hasn't already got the invite.
And I plan to join that and maybe do something like this in the system design as well. So let's try it out. We'll do this as a giant improv, and on the fly, let's try how it goes. I have a couple of ideas we'll explore. So highly encourage everyone to join the study group. We'll do the next 1 month. So I'm actually halting the next bootcamp because I don't want to do that in April, because my workload has also gotten a bit hectic. So I plan to invest my time instead on the system design bootcamp. So let's do it together.
Awesome. That will be great, Krishna, if you can join.
Definitely. Looking forward to it.
Okay, look for the golden nuggets. So tomorrow's session, please make sure you attend in person. You won't get even half the value if you watch the recording. There will be 2 live coaches coming. As you can imagine, it's an expensive deal to get 2 live coaches onto a session. So please make best use of it by attending, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun as well. So we are on the final step of the flywheel. So we will cover position yourself for promotion today. There's a easy step if you're nailed the last 6 steps. So when I say position yourself for promotion, what comes to your mind?
They should consider us as a candidate for the next level. They should see us.
So your team should see you as a candidate for the next level, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes. And of course, those people who take the promotion decisions along with that team.
Yeah. So that means have concrete data to support you, generate positive feedback for you, right? So yeah. Anything else comes to mind when you say position yourself for promotion?
Maybe they should be able to kind of gather something unique about the person which the other person does not bring to the table, so that it will be easier to kind of push our candidature, for example.
Yeah. So how is this candidate extraordinary? Right. Yeah. Right. So let's look at ingredients for a promotion, right? So most companies have a moving to criteria, right? Your manager should feel you are ready. Most companies also have some time in level kind of a requirement. They should see consistency. It's not like you have a spark, you have demonstrated next level in one project. That's not enough usually. Consistency across multiple projects, supportive feedback, right? So there should be people who should vouch for your promo, right? It should not be just your manager feeling that you are ready for the promo, right? Why do companies usually ask for supportive feedback? You know, like why don't they just go with manager recommendation?
Manager probably does not have full insight into what work we do, or everyday work. We don't interact only with the manager, right? So we typically work with everyone also.
Yeah, that's one thing. Is there anything else?
I think
He shouldn't be biased.
Yeah, manager might be biased on you, right? So
manager might not see red flags in like day-to-day work, right? They just see whether something is done or not, like, but they don't see technically if there are any red flags and how they. So yeah, I think senior who has seen your work would be the best.
Yeah, it's in summary, like all the 3 points is like it's like you get like a rounded feedback, not just look at delivery, like have multiple opinions. Another big reason is also that your manager is incentivized to promote, right? So they grow if you grow. So there is vested interest for your manager to promote you, and companies have supportive feedback so that they counterbalance that vested interest with getting other perspectives. Right. Usually, it's also reviewed by neutral people, right? Neutral people being peers of your manager, your manager's manager. So that way, it's more objective and neutral, and people, there should be a value associated with the promotion. So companies don't have too much leverage on how to incentivize people. So promotion is one big incentive system in every company, right? So comps have ranges by level. So that's why promotions are made a big deal, because that's one big incentive structure to drive right behaviors within the company. And the fifth ingredient is storytelling. So let's look at tips for positioning, right? So first one is track.
What is storytelling?
Storytelling is like it's typically a big doc that goes into that, right? So it's not just what Sadhana delivered, how she delivered, what was the situation, what was the story, why is she ready for the next level, why is this candidate worthy? It's all told via a story, right? So what are the tips? So if you are at say level 5, understand level 6 and level 7. So that way, so people usually look at the moving to criteria when they are close to promotion, and when their managers ask them to okay, give me all the data that you have done, what you have done at this to deserve a promotion. That's too late in the cycle. Is my input. So the tip is the moment you get promoted to a level, just start reading what the next level means, and next plus level, like level plus 2, right? From your current level, understand what level plus 2 means, how to operate there, because you may be in one opportunity, but if you any job can be any job you can increase the scope of work if you're looking at it from the right lens, right? So if you know how a principal needs to think, what is expected out of a principal, the work that you are doing today, you might see stuff a principal can do, and that way you'll be primed to look for how to operate as next level when you do your current job, right? It's similar to golden nugget concept, right? So when you keep things in your mind, like so what you look for, if you know what you're looking for, you will start finding patterns around, right? So that's one tip, right? So let's I want you all to do a homework after this, right? So create a document capturing what you've done so far, what are the moving to criteria to the next level and the level beyond, what you have done so far at this level. So suppose you have been at this level for 1 year, what you have done so far that meets the next level criteria. Start documenting that, and every quarter keep updating this. Keep this as a running document, share this with your manager. If you have a shared folder with your manager, keep this as a running document, and you will thank yourself when you have to write your promo. So this one thing would easily move your promo quarter by 1 or 2 quarters up, because you will have more clarity on what you have done. You will see gaps. The gaps will surface, right? So okay, these criteria have been met, these have not been met. Now you will know what to work on rather than just mindlessly working on things that come your way. So highly recommend you do this. The second thing is manager alignment. Before we go there, has anyone done this, or did this help anyone in their recent promo?
I'm doing it, but it, for future. I was advised day one by my manager that start the promo doc today. You're starting the job. Yeah, start it now. If you want to get promoted in 2 years or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Because you will tend to forget.
Right. This also helps you, like, remember in Ask for More, we had one principle of ask for things that are a gap in your promotion, right? So when you know the gap, you know what to ask for next. So manager alignment is one big thing, right? So once that doc is ready, share it with your manager. Have like an open conversation. Hey, I'm not looking to be promoted in the next quarter or next 6 months. I'm doing a long-term career planning. This is what I think I have done so far, and this is how I'm meeting the criteria so far. What do you think? Give me objective feedback. I'm not pushing for my promotion, but I'm just trying to understand where I stand today. Can we have a discussion around that? That document really serves as a North Star when you are having that career discussion with your manager. That way it's very objective. Your manager will give you ideas on, when they see the gaps, they'll give you ideas on how you can fill those gaps. Again, do this as the first step is write the doc. Second step is have that discussion with your manager. Consistency, right? So consistency is expected in two ways: time in level and track record, right? So there are fast promotions, there are slow promotions, but there is a limit to how fast you can get promoted. So that's usually set like minimum time in level is there. It's usually not written. Most companies have unwritten rules around that. So how figuring that out will elevate a lot of frustration. So you'll understand, hey, this is time in level, the time in level expected, and now I can shoot for what is the fastest within that time in level expectation, right? So time in level asks for this, right? So what is the P25 for a promotion within our company? What is the P50, P80, right? So if you are shooting for less than P50, you are growing faster than average, right? Like growing and promotion is only one aspect of growth, but it's an objective, clear way you can measure. So while you are tracking your promo, you'll learn the gaps and you will fix those gaps. There is always fixing the gaps involved in getting promoted. So your end goal is not just getting promoted. Your end goal is like, how do I become the kind of person who gets promoted, right? Any questions on this? Is this clear?
A question. So does it weigh against you if you've been in a particular, like let's say you were among the P90 maybe, like does it weigh against you when you are asking for a promotion? Like, is that a factor?
It would weigh against you in your ratings usually. So when there are like rating discussions or annual calibrations that happen, usually systems flag such candidate. They have been in level for more than average. Their ratings are not improved. So these are all input to the manager to see, hey, what is happening with this? Is there like an opportunity gap? Is there like is this person have an inherent gap that is preventing them from growing? Do they need a mentor? All of these conversations happen when the system flags such people.
Right.
Hey, Krishna, so like I have seen like after a particular level, like for example in my org, principal is considered kind of like sort of terminal unless you bring billions of dollars. Partner level is kind of very tough. So we have principals who are there for like 20 years now in my org.
Yeah.
So, and considering this, like SD2 is like you move out as soon as possible, but principal is like you're kind of saturated. So that's one. Is that only in my org, or you see it across other companies as well?
You'll see it across every company. It's not just as individual contributors. Even like once you become an SVP, you report to a CEO. What's your growth path, right? So that's where people rotate out. People move to different companies. They start their own companies. You will hit a ceiling at some point in the corporate ladder, right? So yeah. So people for example, Ravindra, who came in, right? So he's a distinguished engineer at Dell. There is no other level beyond that. So you can't grow. So
that's like CVP in my company. So it's like handful. And secondly, there I have seen this happen sometimes, like promotion takes backseat because there are like a lot of people that need to be convinced. Sometimes not only the manager, architect, the general engineering manager. Then there is this discussion that, okay, we can't promote, but we can give you other compensations. In those cases, what should be like are like I was confused at that time, but at that time I was pretty new, like 1 year old into my job. So I said, do whatever you want. So going forward, what are the kind of things that one should consider when you are given alternative to promotions and switching teams? I have seen like when switching teams, it sometimes give you more avenues, but then your whatever work you had done in like a previous team doesn't actually carry forward. It's there in your your yearly whatever gets logged to HR or whatever, but the new manager does not have the incentive to actually promote you based on your previous work, unless the team actually splits and something happens like that.
Yeah.
Though they claim that previous team's performance will be taken, it hardly is taken, is what I feel.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why people stick to the same team until they get a promotion. I mean, that seems to be more selfish, right? I mean, I don't know. It's both ways. If the person does not find an opportunity, they should be given the freedom to move to another team, and it should be taken. The previous work should be taken, right? The candidate should not be punished for no fault of theirs just because they're shifting teams. So.
Yeah, true. So that is the ideal world, but then there is reality, right? So it's any promotion is a gamble or a bet the promotion approvers are taking, right? Whenever you promote, you don't promote exactly at the right moment, right? You are either promoting 6 months early or 6 months too late. So that's known, right? So and a lot of factors out of control of the candidate, out of control of the manager happens. What we can do is, how do we reduce those chances if we are by being mindful of our growth? And the two steps that I mentioned on like documenting as you go is super critical, because now when you go to a new team, if say suppose a reorg happens, or there is no role for a principal or a senior engineer in the current team, because depending on the roadmap that has come in, the org doesn't need a principal. So very well it could happen, right? So in that situation, you need to find a role where there is a need, and documenting that will help you take it forward. In those times, again, it's not perfect. You can increase your odds of retaining the credit for the work if you are very mindful in the transition, and you have like a three-way discussion between the outgoing manager, incoming manager, and you, saying, hey, these are the things that I have done. My previous manager agrees that these criteria are met. I would like to retain that. Do you agree to that? So you can make it as a condition for accepting the offer. So that's I've seen people do that. But this is like you are taking extreme measures to make sure that your work is counted. But again, there is no guarantee there. It's but you have done your part. You are more likely than just randomly going to the team. Now the manager who's taking you in, the new manager, knows, oh, this manager is watching for these criteria are being met, right? So that's one good way to deal with such situations. You have to, so by default it won't happen. You have to take proactive. You have to go out of your way to make sure that you capture the credit when such transitions are happening, and like have written paper trail on that, like writing down what you have done, and like writing down agree, and then capturing the meeting minutes of that transition would help. Would help you like retain the credit for that one. Good question. So depending upon how ambitious you are, you can shoot for where you want to be in this range. But first thing is like understand what is the time and level requirement. I've seen like overachieving engineers getting super frustrated by not getting promoted fast enough when it's been unreasonable, because time and level requirement, they're trying to grow faster than the timing level requirement without having that stellar performance, right? So knowing this timing level will reduce a lot of frustration. So this is the hardest part, supportive feedback, right? So
election campaigning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's election campaigning, and it also feels odd as an IC to do that, right? We are not good marketers for ourselves. Usually people in tech are not good at sales. So this is having a sales mindset is needed here to some extent. But there are a few things you can do. So identify who would be providing feedback, right? So you are working on this project, and this is going to help you fill this gap in the moving to criteria to the next level. Identify who are the people who can give you feedback. Many times, the people you naturally work with are at your same level. They won't be able to give you promo feedback. What can you do in such instances? Any ideas on that?
Ask feedback from folks who are at the same level but not in your immediate team. They could be reporting the same general engineering manager. Then it creates a outside feedback as well, like outside support, like a party.
Yeah. So if you're working with you're a senior engineer, you're working with another senior engineer, but for your promo, you need like a principal engineer's feedback, right? So find the principal engineer or the senior manager in the other team which you're working with, and like intentionally design like a design review with them, right? So don't create fake work, but like you can always ask for like a principal review for your work. That way they know what the work is. They know when time comes for feedback, they at least have reviewed the work, instead of now having to go and look back at the work retroactively, right? So that's one idea too. So unless you're conscious about this, your manager may not be noticing this, right? So they are usually in the execution delivery mode. They're not in the will I get like a supportive feedback on this interaction with this other team? So it's your job to make sure that if you are working on a project at next level, make sure that there is feedback provider who can vouch for you. Yeah, there is a factor of luck also, right? So many times the project is delivered, the feedback provider thinks great, but that feedback provider moves out of the team. So being in situation, so it's so being conscious on this and being trying to capture your accomplishments as you go is super important, so that you can avoid misfortunes like that.
So create redundancies, reaching out to principal architects, even if one moves out, like another one is gonna 2, 3.
Yeah. And so all of this is the meta point here is capture your accomplishments as you go, rather than work on it when you're up for promo. This would help your ratings. This would help your when you're ready for promo.
So you said ask for ongoing feedback. So it feels a little odd to ask. So feedback in terms of your design reviews, or like what you're missing. I mean, let's say they want to like there's a certain technical skill they're expecting, and they probably don't even know. I don't know if they are equipped to give the right kind of feedback. How should I phrase that to my, let's say, my senior engineer whom I work with, and who I expect to be, feedback provider? How do I phrase this?
My point is not ongoing feedback. Ongoing feedback is good, but once you hit a milestone, say you achieved design ready milestone, or you achieved a design sign off, right? And at that point, you can ask for feedback from, if it is a one level up person who is a potential feedback provider in your promo. You can ask, hey, I'm working towards my promotion, and you are one of the key stakeholders. Because we have worked closely, I assume you would be one of the key stakeholders in the promotion. How do you see me? Am I operating at the next level? So don't put them on the spot in that meeting itself, like give them a heads up that, hey, can you think of it? And in the next one-on-one, I would like to get that feedback, right? So if you give them a heads up, they'll have time to think and tell you what the feedback is. So it's also a good way to prime them, right? So it's okay to have such conversations, right? So it's not like selfish. So you are working towards it, and you are creating a feedback loop with the other person. Position it in a way that I want to really do well on this project. This is super important for both our orgs. How do I do? If you see anything I'm doing well, not well, please have an open channel with me. I would like to. I really value your input, and I want to work on it and get better. So position it that way.
So in that case, at least I have seen that, you know, people get vested in you as well. So one of the tricks my previous boss used to apply was, let's say he has projected me for promotion and there's some negative feedback coming from some people, then he used to tend to project it like, okay, everything is fine, he promoted me, but you know, she'll be in touch with you to get the feedback and work on that. So and that tends to change the mindset of that person who was working, you know, who provided the negative feedback for you, because then he's then guiding you and he's, you know, invested in you to teach you those skills.
Yeah. So that's transition to the second point, right? Make them your mini mentors, right? So if how can they have more skin in the game in your growth, right? So mentors have skin in the game. This is a great way for a manager, right? Identifying such key people and making those introductions and mentorship relationship is a good way to get feedback on that candidate. But if your manager is not doing that, you can also build that one-on-one relationship with that as like a mini mentor, right? So that way it won't be like I'm doing this for my promo. It's like a mentorship relationship is also there.
And also one thing I have done is, like, whenever somebody praises in Slack or email, capturing those things in a document, and it is easy to, like, when you're writing the review, like summarizing those things, and those are the data points also.
Yes, it's a really good practice. It can go in the same doc that we have been capturing, right? So like any kudos or any you saved, like there was like an urgent deployment needed for the other team, you did that, like capture all the goodwill so that you don't have to remember what all interactions I had. So putting it in your home base kind of a thing, so that you don't have to remember all of these things. Looking back, you have a data easily. So that's one key point. A good point, Archie. Right. So, and the third point is, like, tell them you're working on your promotion and you want their own ongoing feedback. So it's okay to be transparent with people who will give you who you think or who you have identified as supporting feedback providers. Be open with them. Hey, I'm working on the promo. I would love to get you as a mentor. I would love to get your feedback on an ongoing basis.
One feedback I got was, if you want to go up the ladder, you need to provide more feedbacks for people who are like downwards. That is very important, because you are operating at a level. If you want to go a level above, you should be able to constantly give feedbacks to others, not just only seek feedbacks.
+1, yeah. So promotion documents also have, Karthik has 5 mentees at these levels. So those go, and like, because of Karthik mentorship, this guy got promoted. So all of those also go into the promotion doc. There are usually moving to criterias on hire and develop, mentoring, like knowledge transfers. So yeah, capture those as you go as well. Good point, Karthik. So list the feedback providers. If you don't feel comfortable writing it on Slack, at least let's take 2 minutes to list who are the key people who would vouch for you, either in your annual reviews or either in your promotion. So take 2 minutes to list down key people.
say you are in a senior role, feedback from juniors is also equally important, right? That should also be equally considered. It shouldn't be only one level up.
Yeah, so that's considered for your rating, and that's considered for your moving to criteria where you are coaching and developing the team, right? It's not considered for your promote. Your juniors don't get to vote on whether to promote you or not, right? So the idea is, if they are not at the level that you are getting promoted to, how do they even know whether how to
You're
vote?
operating at that level.
Yeah, right. So it's the feedback from juniors is valid for your rating, how you're doing and how you're developing and grooming. So that supportive feedback is used to make a case that you are developing juniors, not to make a case that you are ready for promotion.
Okay.
And the peer feedback, like same level.
Yeah, again, peer feedback also, again, it's just to make a case that you are a team player or you help them. So if you look at our day-to-day activities, right? So stuff that goes into a promotion document, hardly 30% of what you do day-to-day goes there, because it's a different perspective, right? So if you are like yeah, so you are coding, all of that matters, but like it's like a big multi-dimensional aspects about, is this person ready to be promoted? So not everything that you do on a day-to-day basis counts for your promotion, but that doesn't mean that you can get away from all those things, right? But identifying, so why I'm saying that is like, make sure that you're not lost in the day-to-day activities, that you don't get perspective on like what counts towards my promotion. So understanding that, having that that working document is super important. Okay, so let's look at the storytelling aspect, right? So here, most of the doc is not just what this person did, it's how this person did. That is usually told in stories, right? So this was the situation, we had a tight deadline, a design need to be completed by X milestone, and these were the complexities involved. We had 4 downstreams to manage. We had a tough external partner, and Anurag, this is how Anurag managed all of these complexities, and in doing so demonstrated the next level competence. So that's storytelling basically, right? So capture all of those instances, right? So if you know the moving to criteria, then you will know what stories to pick to tell your manager. Your manager might not know all the stories that happened in a project delivery. It's your job to capture these stories and convey the stories, and ultimately, like, human beings are approving your promotion, right? What moves people is emotion, and knowing such stories is like capturing such stories and surfacing such stories is important to influence their promotion decisions.
So how back can these stories go? Like, should they happen in like the last 1 year, or so yeah, let's say I had some gaps that I worked on this year, but like it's not the full story, right? Like how long in the past it can go?
Yeah, it can go as long as you are in the current level, right? Say suppose you were L4, you did something and you got promoted to L5, and at L5 you have been at 3 years. Through this 3 years you can count. But if there was something from your L4 that you had done that also qualifies for L6, that is usually not considered, because you were at L5. Usually that is where the line is drawn between at your current level, what have you done that qualifies for L6. But frequency, like recency, is prioritized over the older ones. Because it's expected that as you spend more time in level, you get more mature and you are able to handle things better with your experience, right? So, but if you have a really stellar story from early in your L5 and you are going to L6, capture those count. Okay, so one good way to time yourself to look for these stories is to get a couple of promo docs from your manager about within your team. Like you can say managers are usually hesitant to share because that might contain confidential data. So you can usually a promotion doc has like best reason not to promote. It's not all the rosy stories, right? There would also be misses and how this person could have handled a situation differently. So if your manager is resistant to that, you can say that you can remove all the confidential part. My goal is to understand how do we make a case for a promotion, right? So how is the narrative, so that I can also start looking for such stories and make your life easy when I'm up for promo.
Actually, I asked my manager, like, can you share even my promotion doc so that I know what went well and what didn't go. He said, when you become manager, then only I will share. I won't share now. He said it's too confidential. So I'm thinking maybe next way is ask a manager who is not even in our org. So I don't know like who his report is, and perhaps can share a doc for a person who is now no more in the company or no more in the org.
Yeah.
So
maybe even mask the name, right?
Yeah.
As long as they mask the name, we will not be able to figure out this.
Right, like if I'm in payment and I ask somebody from like a networks team, probably I won't even know who the name is unless I'm really into that team. Yeah, but directly from a manager, I've asked 2 managers and they said no, it's kind of confidential. So
yeah, so the follow-up you can ask Anurag is like, can you remove the confidential part and tell me? So my intention is not to dig up graves. My intention is to understand why this person got promoted, so that I can be in the right mindset. If you share your intention and maybe encourage them to delete the confidential part. If this worked for them, they'll have to go through the entire doc again. And it's probably also risky, but I have done this with my engineers because that gives them super clarity on like, hey, what goes in the doc, how should I position myself, what accomplishments matter, what don't, right? So it makes it super crystal clear for the person.
Yeah, my manager shared his promo doc 3 months into the org. He's like, yeah, take mine. You have complete transparency. Don't share with others, but like you can peek into mine and take a look at it. Because day one, he told me, remember this one thing, you start the promo doc, and I think 3 months when he shared, he said like, from now on, going up the ladder is a bloodbath. So which means you need to be very, very articulative, capture every information because you need to make a case. It's not easy.
Yeah, and I'm sure Karthik, like that doc gave you much more insights than any mentoring or any multi-hour discussion with your manager, right? Now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's at the same level as I, but he's a manager candidate. But like I can really understand why. And he also told like he never went through the promo, right? He just kept creating docs and then never went through it. He said like, I was happy with it, but now I will go through. But yeah, it gives me insight into what the path is. Yeah, absolutely.
So normally, how long is this talk? For
every year you do it. At least in my org, up after L6, from L6, any promos going after above it, it's done only yearly twice, every 6 months. But like down from L4, L5, it's done every quarter. So you can put in your promo doc, like create stuff and like put it for actual promo, the first 6 months in a year or the last 6 months in a year. That's the window going higher up.
So how long is a doc is like subject to the company. So in Amazon, it's usually a 6-page narrative describing how the candidate meets the criteria, moving to criteria. Yeah, it could be very different in Microsoft versus Facebook.
I mean, here mostly it's like, are you already a L7 operating at that level, right? Evidence for that, collecting evidence is part of my job as well as my manager's job, because we pour in that data into a single doc. The same way works for him too. Yeah.
So again, when you write docs, right, when you're capturing your contributions, you again follow the inverted pyramid. Put the most important stuff first. So when I ask my people to write down what they've done, they'll give me usually big stuff, like everything that they've done. Unless I've given them a promo doc, people are not aware what matters, what not. So getting that sample doc will give you, it's a shortcut to understand like what matters, what doesn't. Use this pyramid while you are capturing that as well. Yeah, that's about it. So any questions on the position yourself for promotion? I want to keep like 5 minutes for Q&A here. And
hey Krishna.
Yeah.
So for engineers who want to move to management ladder, what are few things they should be doing in their team?
Yeah, good question. So manager transitions in some companies are considered a promotion. In some companies, it's like a transition. But in either case, there is usually a document created to capture why transition, right? So there are criterias for. So every manager promotion has a moving to criteria similar to ICs, right? Say suppose you already are at level 5 and you want to transition from level 5 individual contributor to level 5 manager, right? So usually a doc is written which is similar to a L5 promotion. How you are meeting the moving to criteria for that level is usually captured. So as a manager, key things are like people, right? So are you building experience managing people, either through you being operating as a lead, you're operating as a lead for a project and you are already helping your current manager with people stuff, right? You are helping them with project coordination stuff, project planning stuff. So attributes of your manager, so expectations that are usually from a manager, how you are demonstrating as an IC, documenting that and making a case is how manager transitions are approached. Few things is like you can get people management experience in a lightweight way by having interns report to you, right? So companies are usually okay interns reporting into an SD, even who's on the path to manager, right? So that's one way. One key thing is people, if you have an aspiration to move to manager, one key thing to understand is transition to manager happens only if there is a need for another manager in the org, right? So what you can do is you can start preparing yourself and start building those skills and start generating data around that you are competent and you have a natural skill or talent towards becoming a people manager. You can generate data while you are working on that, but like there is no guarantee that you can transition to an SPM within the org unless there is a role that opens up. So what usually teams do is like they have a list of leads or future managers in the backlog, and as and when new roles, there is a need for a new SDM, you either hire externally or you pick the best candidate from your pool of leads that want to transition to SDM. So, Akansha, do you have any follow-ups on that?
Yeah, so like I'm currently mentoring a junior candidate, and but I'm like quite new within my company, maybe. So how do I develop those people management skills? I am helping my manager with process management within the team, within the org, but how do I develop those people management skills?
Yeah. So before you go there, first thing is to have that conversation with your manager, like sharing your intent that this is my career aspiration, and do you see opportunities for that in my current team, and how do I can you help me figure out opportunities so that I can, while I'm being an IC, I can also work towards developing those skills. Partner, you can't really do this without your manager's support. So first step is to talk to your manager and get them to align with it. A good prerequisite, a good way to increase your likelihood of success when you have that conversation is to capture like, hey, what have I done in the past 6 months that that can signal you that I am a good bet to make. So it's any SDM conversion is a bet a manager is making. If you can give them data to give them more confidence that this is a good bet, you are a good bet to take to give an opportunity as an SDM, capture that, go talk to the manager, and then figure out bigger opportunities where you can slowly transition.
Thank you.
Good question.
So this book helped me when I was thrown into a manager role. One of the fantastic books that I ever read. Like I was lost for 3 months how to manage because I was more an individual contributor. Then I picked up, and it's one of the best books that I ever read, how to manage people. Definitely worth a try.
Thanks for the record there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings us to, so if you don't have any follow-up questions, this is our session 12. We're done with the session 12. So with tomorrow we'll have 13 sessions, roughly 20 hours together. It's been a good journey, and you joining here not only is investing yourself, you are also helping kids. We sponsored 50 kids last year. This year, also 53 kids last year. This year, I plan to continue supporting these kids. My goal was to give you disproportionate value. Hopefully, I was able to deliver that. I shared this working backwards goal that I had, right? So all of you got disproportionate value. You made meaningful connections. I can see that a lot of you are planning on extending the connection by having sessions. Yeah, hopefully you made good friends here. We brought together like-minded people who are growth seekers. Hopefully we made connections. It's relationships matter, right, in all our careers. So it's a good way to help each other out even after the bootcamp. Hopefully you all took meaningful actions on your growth, which you would probably wouldn't have taken otherwise, and you feel much more confident about your growth. And more importantly, I hope you all had fun learning.
Hey Krishna, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
So I collected the feedback from my previous manager and my current manager. My previous manager thinks me as a strong leader and technically quite competent. My current manager doesn't feel I'm technically quite competent, or he sees me as a weak leader. So I was in my previous role for 4 years and I have been in my current role for 8 months now. Some learning curve has been involved in my current role. How do I overcome this?
Is it in the same company, or have you switched companies as well?
I have switched my companies.
Okay. Yeah. So it's hard to carry forward that goodwill here if it's a new company, right? Suggestion for you is to root cause really if it's a manager issue or a role fit issue or a gap that you currently have. So diagnose what is the root cause here. Like I suggest like a 5 why kind of an exercise on what objectively what happened here in that situation. Why does your manager think this way? In a way that the manager doesn't feel like you're challenging that person, you are trying to root cause that person. Because if they feel like you are challenging them, they will dig their heels and try everything to prove they are right? So try to understand the root cause of what happened. Dissect, like if it's like a role fit issue. I remember you also mentioned in the past, like you are getting feedback from your current manager that you probably are a good product fit person, right? So what was this from the new manager?
Yeah.
So there may be some signals of role fit here. So try to root cause this with your manager by, I can suggest some questions that you can ask them for your one-on-one, right? So we can maybe chat on Slack, and we can I can help you structure that conversation with your manager.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so hopefully we achieved all of this, and if you feel I've done a good job, please write a review for this. It would matter a lot because that's I don't spend much on marketing. Word of mouth is the only way I get this out to more people. If we have time, if you want to drop off now, it's okay to drop off. But if you have time, would appreciate if you can start writing a review. What matters? What made a difference for you? What you like? What you didn't like? Even honest feedback on that.
Hey Krishna, I had requested like something yesterday. If you have some time, could you?
Yeah. So where did you request?
It was in the discussion, actually, not like officially here.
Oh, okay. Oh, you had pinged me something? No.
No. Like when we were discussing, like I had requested like 2 pitch, which you said like one pitch which was actually accepted and a pitch which was not accepted, to kind of and remove whatever confidential information is there to understand what works and what doesn't work actually.
Yeah. So I will post this. So we'll keep the channel active for 1 more month. Okay. So we can I'll answer questions if you have anything there. I'll post that. So yesterday was a hectic day at work, so I couldn't get to that. So that's in my backlog. I'll get to that, Anurag.
And this is thanks to everybody. Like here we could ask questions which might sound stupid, but everybody had a different opinion. So kind of like removes that tunnel vision approach when we do something. So it was really nice to get so many feedback from so many people, so many perspectives. I hope even after 1 month we can connect somehow, because I found interesting observation, interesting solution, not only coming from Krishna but from so many people. Like especially on the Slack channels, I see Vijay suggesting so many books, so many stuff. I really appreciate. I try to I'm trying to collect it in one place so that I can go over them as
Thank you.
and when it comes.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. So we had some great inputs. So yeah, I think I'm a little so this energy, right, like what we have right now, it's pretty good, but I think 2 weeks from now it would be, I think very few of us will keep that going. So yeah, I think the meeting that we have is a great way to keep keep the energy rubbing off each other.
Yeah.
So is this the Slack channel, is that going to be so you said it's not going to be active 1 month from now, right?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I keep this active for just this channel for this group to discuss anything for 1 month, and we'll add you to the alumni channel. So where we do, like, for example, like the design workshop, I invited alumni also to join because that was something new that I tried this time. So and that alumni channel is also active. People keep sharing fun stuff, and the upward spiral, I post some activities that I think would be interesting. The thing is, like, it's hard to keep it alive. When like after 3 months, people usually disconnect, but it's up to you how much you want to engage and connect. I don't want to force anyone to participate there.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so we should probably create some Facebook group or something where, so if we don't have probably ideas right now to what we can do together, but when we do have we have like-minded folks here that we can go to, like, that they would be interested in. So yeah, something like that would be beneficial, and not lose the connections after this is done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is like an, what do you say, invaluable set of folks, right? I mean, you won't believe I had done my master's some 7 years back or something like that. We still have a WhatsApp group which is active for more than 7 years, and like 120 people or 150 people there. So it's like we hardly know each other, but any kind of question, we just post it over there. So it's like one-stop solution. You will find somebody answering anything.
I will share something.
That's really cool.
When I joined Masters, WhatsApp had a limit of 100 members in that group. So I had to literally ping that admin separately. Can you please add me? So he actually removed a couple of folks who didn't join our university and added me. It's that valuable.
Like, so this is like, I mean, I would definitely suggest to have it as a group. I'm pretty sure any day, someday, each of us will be of some value add to someone else. Need not be to everybody, but for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, learning together is the best way to make friendships, right? If you look back at your closest friends, most likely they are from college or somewhere where you learned together something.
So, it was interesting. We started off with this only to study together or whatever, just to kind of share with. There are now groups forked out of it, people who are interested to do PhD, for example, and then people who are kind of interested to invest. They kind of have a group where they discuss about which stocks to invest, how is the market doing. So they have different folks. So it's like a relation built over such a long time, right? So it's awesome. So I would definitely encourage if we can create a WhatsApp group or something like that with all of us in, right? It will be very good.
Yeah, we can do that.
So can we just have a quick vote, +1 or like thumbs up for WhatsApp group? I didn't want to do WhatsApp before, but this is the first time I'm getting a WhatsApp group request. What do you guys think in WhatsApp group?
There are already a lot of +1.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it's easier. It's on the phone.
Very easy.
Facebook, I mean, I don't know about you guys, like I really suck. I mean, I haven't even logged in and I have to go and literally learn Facebook now if I have to be productive in it.
Not on Facebook either. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the platform, just some way to.
So, I mean, I'm not trying to like, say, oh, come join my group or anything like that. But I also have a Discord channel if anybody, I'm just like literally saying it, like if you're interested, if you want to just be a part of that channel. I am a meetup organizer, and one thing that I wanted to ask Krishna here too is if you ever wanted to promote or talk about this boot camp, and I'd be willing to vouch for you at this meetup group that I have. It's I've been doing it for years, so I have like more than 4,000 members in Southern California. So you could definitely come and talk about this boot camp. And I use it just as a way to network. So I could drop a link for the Discord. That's how we all kind of communicate. And then there was one other thing that I wanted to say, just in regards to, networking and all this stuff. I think it's really, really important, like everybody is saying, even for today's conversation. I was just thinking about the way I actually got like a lot of my jobs wasn't by like, just being so good at my technical skill. It was also because like I would go and seek out people just like you, Krishna, and a lot of the people here who are in the roles that I want, right? And then I would get mentoring advice from them because, it's easier to ask somebody who's, outside your job, because then you don't run into like office politics where they're trying to compete with you, which has been my case. So, I like talking to people outside and learning a lot about what they do, and then using that feedback to actually improve myself. So again, like that's why I'm like talking about this Discord and everything that I've been saying so far. Just wanted to reiterate, it's been a great course so far, and all the advice you've been giving is great too. And so just extending myself here with this link. I can put in the Zoom chat.
Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. You've been a big value to the group and community. Appreciate all that you are sharing here, and all the great questions and great insights as well.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. I hope to keep a line of communication with you, like even when you're doing other things. Appreciate all the help.
Happy to help.
Mm-hmm.
I think I made a conscious decision in last 4 weeks is do not get completely overburdened with work. Every week, do some defragmentation of your mind, like declutter your mind. Otherwise, nothing will come out of it. So every week, I at least that's my goal. Every week on Saturday, spend 2 hours decluttering everything out and thinking what positive things I can do to actually enhance, and not get bogged down in day-to-day mundane work.
So our office work is designed in such a way that it will never run out. You will never run out of work. So there won't be a day when you will be done with all your work and then you will have time for this.
So we run out of work when company goes down. So it's better work that never runs out.
Yeah. Valid point. It's good. Thank you, team. It was really fun, and we'll meet again tomorrow. And we'll keep the Slack open. If you have any questions, ask in the channel, or if you have any personal questions, feel free to directly DM me. Thank you. Bye. Great session today. Amulya, you had something?
I will probably ping you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ping you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.